very good morning to you. You're welcome to the breakfast on Plus TV Africa. My name is Rome Paulson. How are you doing this morning? It's Friday the 4th of April 2025, and in fact it is known as Walk to Work Day. Yes, this is a day where you get to leave the cars at home, leave anything, just decide that you want to walk to work. Because instead of debating with Okada riders, Danfo drivers, and being frustrated in traffic, and we know what Lagos traffic has been like in the past 2 days because of the closure of the Independence Bridge. So how about you decide that today is that day that you walk to work, and the benefit is enormous because you definitely get a free workout and you might get to work a little bit less frustrated and even more refreshed. So leave everything you're doing, leave the car keys at home, grab a bottle of water, put on your sneakers because you definitely want comfortable shoes, and start walking. So let's know if you'll be joining in on this. So make sure that you go to our social media page, follow us on Instagram, and type it in the comments that, yes, I am walking to work today. All right, on today's breakfast show, we'll be looking at several hot topics, one of which is INEC rejects Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's recall petition. Much later in the show, we'll be discussing the fact that World Bank has approved over $1 billion for Nigeria's development. We'll also be taking global stories that has made it to the front pages of our national dailies, as well as some top trending stories. But first, let's see our quote of the day. And our quote says, life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. And that is according to Søren Kierkegaard. In fact, he was known as a Danish theologian, philosopher, poet, and social critic. And he was also considered to be the first existential philosopher. And he says this morning, life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. So how are you living your life? Are you living your life going by the fact that so many things are happening, especially if you live in Nigeria? And if you think about the economy, you think about the healthcare system, the education, transportation, so many things to think about, to be honest. And you're thinking of them as things that you need to solve, right? That might be your reality, but sometimes it's okay to just experience life for what it is. And of course, there are going to be highs and lows. Nobody promised you a straight line or a hoorah the entire time. So you might have challenges, but understand that it comes with a package. And with this package, enjoy every bit of it. So do not look at it as a solution, something that you need to find solution to all the time. Take a breather, take a chill pill, go out, have fun, spend time with your family, friends, do the things that you love, and enjoy that reality. So it is a reality that is to be experienced, not just a problem that you need to solve. And most times it's the psychological part of it, because when you think there's always a problem, that's just how your life will turn out. And sometimes you get depressed, you get miserable, because you just feel like there is so much all the time, and you're basically just finding ways to keep your head above water. But how about you say, you know what, it's fine, I'm just going to breathe at this moment. I'm going to breathe in and breathe out and ensure that I look for the things that give me joy. I look for the things that make me happy in this time. And that's what Søren is saying with this quote. And of course, it's Friday, so it's the weekend. What better time to have fun? So you have the next 2 days off work, maybe, and just use that in spending time with the people that you really care about, doing the things that you really love to do. And that's it. So enjoy your life. That's what we're telling you this morning from Plus TV Africa. All right, we'll move over to our top trending stories. This first one says, Tinubu celebrates sports as tools for development. President Bola Tinubu emphasized the importance of sports in youth development and economic growth during the opening of the inaugural Niger Delta Sports Festival in Uyo. Represented by Shehu Diko, chairman of the National Sports Commission, Tinubu highlighted that sports foster community engagement, empowerment, and sustainable development. He praised the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, for supporting the event and aligning with the federal government's sports sector reforms. The Minister of Regional Development, Abubakar Momo, also spoke at the event, stressing the region's potential in both natural resources and human talent. He explained that the festival is not just about competition, but also promotes values like discipline and perseverance essential for national development. Momo urged athletes to use the festival as a platform to showcase their abilities. Akwa Ibom Governor Umo Eno welcomed the athletes, encouraging them to exhibit sportsmanship and represent their state proudly. The opening ceremony featured and a parade of athletes, with over 3,000 athletes competing in 17 sports across 6 centers. The festival aims to highlight sports' role in regional unity and economic growth. So kudos to the Niger Delta, obviously, for, bringing up this initiative, because in Nigeria, where a lot is going on, sometimes you just need a good news to make you happy. And, seeing this, especially with the fact that we know what unemployment is saying in Nigeria, because Nigeria, obviously, 70% of our population are the youths, right? Young people, and these are people who engage in sports activities and whatnot. So it's important that you're putting out activities that they can participate in, activities that they can, join in and, show their talent, showcase their talents, showcase, those things that they have inside them. And sports is one of the things that we know that definitely we have in Nigeria. We have so many talents. I mean, if you look at the English Premier League, for instance, you're seeing the likes of Saka, you're seeing so many, Nigerians doing amazing. You're seeing Iwobi, too many to name, right? So we can see that, and that's just EPL. We have the rugby team as well. You're seeing natural talent, local talent from Nigeria being exported all over the world. And of course, tournaments like this, competitions like this are where people get scouted from. So it is amazing that, the government, obviously, the Niger Delta, has put up something like this whereby people can showcase the talents that they have. And, kudos to them. I mean, this is a great feat, which is amazing. And these are the things that we say that we want. I mean, a lot of times you can come here and berate the government and say they're not doing anything. But when you hear things like this, we have to give the accolades where it is due. So kudos to them. Obviously, you shouldn't just stop with the Niger Delta region, because there are so many other people, in other states who have this natural gift. And it's important that we harness this gift. So what I would just say is ensure that it doesn't end with the Niger Delta, and it should be sustainable. So it's not just a one-time thing. We want to see more of this and more ideas that can bring in participation of the youths, bring in engagement with the youths, and we'll just see where it goes. All right, another top trending story says ferry catches fire in Lagos, passengers injured. A ferry operated by Lagos Ferry Service, Lag Ferry, caught fire in the Ipakodo ferry terminal in Ikorodu, Lagos on Thursday morning. The fire started with an explosion from the boat's engine and spread quickly, trapping passengers inside the cabin. Emergency responders, including the Lagos State Waterways Authority, LASWA, acted swiftly, evacuating all passengers and crew members from the boat. 4 passengers were reported to have sustained minor injuries and are receiving medical attention. LASWA is currently investigating the cause of the fire and working with other stakeholders to assess the situation. They assured the public that safety protocols remain in place and ferry operations continue as scheduled. So, I mean, this is just the point where we say, thank God it's not worse than this. Thank God it's not more than this. I mean, as Nigerians, most times you never know what's going to happen. And of course, I love the fact that they're already investigating this, so it would not happen again. I mean, you can just be walking down the road and a pole could just decide to fall. And you just never know, to be honest. But for this, we're grateful, we're happy that these people are safe. No lives were lost, even though there were minor injuries, but I'm sure that they will be recuperating in the hospital. But that is just to say that, we need to be careful, to be honest. So these are engines, right? So precautionary measures needs to be taken every single time. Inspection, because at the end of the day, people's lives are at stake here. They're the ones who are going to be, being cargoed or being moved in those ferries. So every time inspections need to be done, that this is of, great standard, great capacity, and that can work for the people who are coming in there. So, but I mean, the good thing is, the ferry continues as scheduled. I know that in Lagos right now there's been a gridlock because of the closure of the Independence Bridge. In fact, on the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway, there is a trailer or a tanker that has fallen on the road, so a little bit of gridlock as well. So I think everybody just needs to navigate, better, and know where you're moving at, and just plan your routes. Plan your routes and be careful. That's just the truth. Be careful. All right, another top trending story says Wike dismisses rumors of collapsing at an event. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, has rejected claims circulating on social media that he collapsed at an event last week. The rumors allege that he was rushed abroad for treatment, but Wike firmly stated that he did not collapse and described the stories as attempts to score cheap political points. Wike emphasized that health issues like collapse could only happen to a human being and not a ghost. He also suggested that the rumors were meant to distract from important matters in Rivers State, such as the recent revelation by Judge Wike regarding an explosion at the Rivers State House of Assembly. Despite the rumors, Wike made a public appearance 2 days later, appearing healthy and in good spirits during the Salah homage to President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa, further dispelling concerns about his health. His media aide, Lere Olayinka, also dismissed the claims and said they are false. Well, great to hear that Wike is doing well. He's doing fantastic because, of course, this news made media rounds where everybody were like, what's happening to Wike? Because it was said that he had he had an heart attack. He had, suffered from a heart attack, and he was rushed abroad. But one of the things that most people said, especially if you're following it on social media, was just the fact that, I mean, we're grateful that this did not happen, but it was just to show that life is fickle, right? So no matter where you are, no matter what position you have, it's important that you do what is right by yourself and by the people around you, right? It's important that you leave a legacy because anything could happen. And just like I said, imagine the ferry that, caught fire. Imagine a tanker that has fallen on Lekki-Ekpe Expressway. Anything could happen. So it's important that how you're living your life, the legacy that you're going to leave behind should be paramount, should be something that you take as priority, because you do not want to live here and maybe you have like bad things that people would say about you, or people would not be happy with you. So this story making rounds on social media just showed that. And in this case, we're happy that, he's great, he's in great condition, he's doing fantastic. So he's not on the other side, he's okay and is healthy. So we're happy about that. But it's important that we take our health seriously, 1. 2, the legacy that we're leaving, legacy we're leaving behind, we're really, really thinking about that. And, for Wike, we wish you all the best. Honestly, nobody's praying for your downfall or for you to be sick or anything. We just want you to be okay. So please make sure that you're taking care of your health and, you're doing things that will benefit the people of Rivers State and the people of Nigeria at large. All right, our final top trending story says Nigeria faces shortage of actuarial professionals. Nigeria is facing a critical shortage of qualified actuaries with only 28 professionals in the country. The Financial Reporting Council, FRC, and the Nigerian Actuarial Development Program, NADP, have raised concerns about the impact this could have on sectors like insurance, banking, and healthcare. They are advocating for more students to take up actuarial science and have introduced incentives such as covering tuition and exam fees to support aspiring actuaries. During an event at the University of Benin, Dr. Rabiu Olowo, the Executive Secretary of FRC, explained the ongoing efforts to encourage more young people into the profession. These efforts include university outreach programs and capacity building initiatives aimed at strengthening actuarial practices and regulations in Nigeria. Professor Ismaila Adeleke from the University of Lagos also highlighted the importance of actuaries in assessing financial risk, particularly in insurance and healthcare. Despite the need for more actuaries, only 8 of Nigeria's 223 universities offer actuarial science, and the profession remains underrepresented in comparison to fields like accounting. Actuaries. First things first, a lot of people don't even know what this is about. And I'm sure for most people, this is the first time that they're hearing of a profession like this. But that is just to let you know how much shortage there is. Because imagine in a country of 36 states, we have just about 28 actuaries in the whole of Nigeria. So of course a lot more people needs to come into this profession. And I love the fact that you're giving incentives. You know, we can pay your tuition, we can help you, you know, come into the profession, pay for your exams and whatnot. So it's a fantastic idea. I know that abroad there are places where the government, you know, give incentives for the students to actually, for the citizens to actually come into school, to actually study. And we're seeing that now happening in Nigeria where, well, in this case, it's just a profession. But I mean, it's the start of something new. It's the beginning of greatness for a lot of these people, a lot of these people that would come into this profession. So I think obviously I would say that more sensitization needs to be done, more awareness, you know, because a lot of people don't even know what this is about. So there needs to be more awareness that when you even go to secondary schools, guidance and counseling, well, at that point where they, you know, tend to let you know that, okay, these are the courses that you would be great in, you can study, and these are the benefits that you would get. I think it should be top tier as well, to ensure that we're putting more people into the profession, we're fanning their flames and just guiding them into going into that profession where they can now become professional actuaries, because of course we need them in fields like insurance, banking, healthcare system, in fact almost everywhere. So why not ensure that the leaders of tomorrow, the people that are coming in, are looking for better ways to have a good profession, such as becoming an actuary. All right, that's it for our top trending stories. We'll go on a short break. We'll look at the weather. When we return, we'll be reviewing the papers, so please stay with us.